Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
But inside is so delightful.
It's Christmas in July.
Let's review.
Let's review.
Oh, let's review.
Season 2!
Bum.
Bum.
Hey there, BlueDragonFive. I spared you from my Ricky Ricardo singing impression. That's my Christmas gift to you tonight. I spared you from that. Lucy, I'm home. All right.
So, and we're here, everybody, Buffalo, to talk about Christmas in July, Season 2.
Okay, so we've got a big one tonight. This is probably, out of all our selections for Christmas in July Season 2, this is probably one of our personal favorites, wouldn't you say?
Well, it's a really good one.
It's a really good one. And, you know, what better way to kind of tie back the whole Christmas TV show thing than what was one of the first popular American, sitcoms of its day, and one of the best, and I still think one of the best comedies of all time. I Love Lucy. Just, oh my God, BlueDragonFive, how much do you love this show?
Oh, the show is fantastic, and it's very important historically, because you got to remember, Desi Arnaz, he was a brilliant businessman. You know, he's the one. Without him, we don't really have television today, because he's the guy who had the brilliant idea. Let's shoot directly on film.
Right.
Because before you had to expedite all over the place, and you had to move your productions all over the place to film, and basically you could do it all in one place because of him. And you got these special cameras and everything set up.
So I have such fond memories of just watching the show, of course, on for the '90s kids. Of course, we all watched it on Nick at Night. I'm assuming for most of us.
Yeah, but nowadays I'd rewatch it on TV Land when they. I don't think they aired it anymore, but when it was on TV Land, I watched it like crazy. Also,
I watched it like crazy anytime I could watch it. Because I really freaking love it.
Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was making sure you're there. I get them all on DVD too, so I can always watch them at my leisure anytime I want, in color or black and white.
So, do you have any background for this particular episode?
Not really. I think only thing is when they air it, sometimes they pair it off with the first episode of, I want to say, season 2, the job switching episode. You know, the one where the chocolate episode. That's the one. The girls go into the workforce, and Fred and Ricky they take on the womanly duties, the wife duties, and pretty much Lucy, obviously the stuff in the assembly line gag. Yeah, it's classic TV. It's like that and Vegemina Vitamin. Those two are ingrained in the holes of TV comedy forever. They are the opening.
Well, that's the brilliant thing about I Love Lucy is that there are you could list those two, but you could list so many others that
my favorite. Yeah, my favorite episode. The bread too, but my favorite.
Oh, the bread is fantastic. Oh my God,
the bread is brilliant. My favorite episode, as I mentioned before, and some other stuff. The Superman episode is hands down my favorite episode. I Love Lucy. It's fantastic.
Color me surprised.
Well, no, we're gonna color your black and white, Tiki.
Okay. So you want to get into the recap?
Yeah, sure. But again, pretty much the only background is they want to do a Christmas episode, and I guess they didn't really either. They didn't have enough story for the whole thing, or they just decide if we're going to do a clip show episode like we're going to do anyway, let's make a Christmas theme to spice it up a bit. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, it does kind of spice it up a bit instead of just being like an average sort of clip show. Although I must say the clip show tropes are here, and it's pretty bad in a couple spots. Just kind of the exposition dialogue to get into the flashbacks, but we'll cover it. It's kind of part of the charm of the TV of the day. You know what I mean?
It's actually kind of funny. This is also now bear in mind, to my knowledge, again, I'm not a full expert on I Love Lucy or anything, but this is in season 6, and also this season, actually a few episodes from this one, you get the Superman episode, which again I love that one. Mm-hmm. If I'm correct, this was the final episode of the original run of I Love Lucy, and they were either brought back on for 3 more seasons on either. It was either they were brought back on a different network, or it was like the DVD set's called I Love Lucy, but it's probably like the Lucy Show and all the spin-offs. I'm not sure.
Right. Yeah, I think it's the Lucy Show
It's
where
like
they got
six
brought
is
back.
called like 6 is called the final season, even though they're more after it. Something technically, so I'm not quite sure how that stacks up. But they're released still under the I Love Lucy moniker, so it's a little strange. But the point is, this was kind of like their, they had the kid born. That's something you run into with kind of sitcoms, or you run out of story opportunities once the kid's born.
Of course.
I'm saying that's the old in sitcoms. That's kind of the old thing like that, and All in the Family. Basically, that's why kids get shifted to the wayside a lot of the time.
Right.
I don't know. I think they made a really good job making Little Ricky likable in the show for the time.
Well, I think they did. Yeah, absolutely.
This is also, along with the Flintstones, is one of the big not controversial. This is one of the big kind of uses of pregnancy on the air.
Sure.
Showcasing pregnancy and how you're gonna. There was a huge kind of thing in the writers' room when they were all freaking out over like, oh my god, how can we do this? How can we show they got pregnant, which implies they had sex, and that in the 50s on TV. On TV in the 50s, that doesn't happen. They sleep in separate beds. How? I beg you, how? So they literally, to my knowledge, and I could be wrong here, what I've heard is that they actually brought in like not fathers per se, but like kind of a religious council of some kind, like kind of oversee the writing process to make sure they didn't do anything offensive. And that's how they kind of pulled it off. Like they had the great episode, which we're going to talk about when we get to this. They actually show, the episode, the announcement. But let's get into the episode.
Okay. So starts with Ricky. He's being the awesome father that he is, and he's hanging up stockings and and Lucy. This is kind of a running gag. She's not quite satisfied with how the stocking's hanging. She thinks it's a little crooked. Yeah. And then little Ricky, like we said, little Ricky's adorable, and he's pulling up a chair, and then Lucy's just like, "What are you doing, honey?" He's like, "I'm waiting for Santa Claus."
Of course, they can't have that because they prepare gifts and decorations and trees and stuff. Right, so basically, he says, "No, you can't do that. Why?" And then she says, "Daddy, why?"
Now, why, Daddy? Yeah, I love the back and forth of Ricky here.
Again, Lucille Ball. Comedy genius, and also she's kind of an inspiration for Harley Quinn, so it's another thing for Lucille Ball. Yeah, she is kind of the big kind of comedic firestorm, just kind of that brilliant, ditzy yet lovable performance,
Sure. So I love the explanation Ricky comes up with of how he's got the Sandman waiting on standby, and the Sandman sends a signal when the kids are asleep.
So we get here the classic kind of formulaic elements of our Christmas special here, where the kid asks about Santa Claus. Santa Claus is kind of our big variable in this episode. He's like the big well, how does Santa Claus operate? Well, we don't know. Is there a Santa Claus? Is there not a Santa Claus in this universe? Again, you get to see that played with. So again, just kind of the logistics of Santa Claus are in play here. So again, just Ricky kind of flying by the seat of his pants on a kind of a classic dad explanation of it. It's hilarious.
But I love how little Ricky just so instantly it's like, oh, okay, that makes total sense.
Yeah, it's just like, well, he waits for a signal. Who's he signaling? Who? He says, well, the Sandman? Yes.
Oh, yes, the Sandman.
What brilliant. And anyway, so then little Ricky asks Big Ricky, well, how's he doing? He says, ask your mother. He says, why me? He says, I did the why and the who. You handle the how. Anyway, so then this is actually quite brilliant explanation too. She says, "Well, again, she's she's grasping at straws here, right. And in that, she has her answer. She figures out, well, the North Pole, yeah. Well, basically, he uses that to slide down like a fireman.
That's brilliant.
Because he first wanted a staircase or something. He says, no, he just slides down using the North Pole. Oh, okay.
Now I want to see someone implement the concept of a North Pole into a Christmas movie.
It'd be really cool if they did Robin in Teen Titans. He has a bow staff that retracts and kind of opens up and stuff. If they had one of those things, they basically pull out a little flashlight-sized pole, push a button, and then the rest of the pole comes out, and then you just slide down it.
I'm just picturing North from Rise of the Guardians having like a North Pole
You can
as a
imagine
weapon.
like a javelin type bow staff for this guy.
Right, right.
Anyway, also speaking of canes and poles, here, I want to bring something up. I love just the old timey fact that Lucy is like wrapping a cane with like a red ribbon, look like a candy cane.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, anyway, so then, so after little Ricky's off to bed, he's out of the way, out of the man. You'd be wondering at this point, man, the Ricardos, I mean, they're really, don't get me wrong, the fireplace looks nice, but where's the freaking tree, man? But
another trope, getting the Christmas tree.
Yep. And then thankfully, our beloved Mertz family comes in.
Oh yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Fred Mertz. They walk in there. Fred and Ethel Mertz. And Fred comes bearing a tree, a really nice looking big old tree. They got for $5. Oh, remember inflation.
Yeah. But I love the whole bit of like, oh, Ricky's like, oh, you shouldn't have. And then Ethel's like, oh, it was nothing. And then Fred's just, nothing. The tree cost me $5. So that transitions into who's our Scrooge of the episode?
It's Fred.
Well, they pretty much acknowledge it. I mean, he's
they do
the whole series.
Yeah, Ethel keeps calling him Scrooge. It's pretty funny. But again,
although I must say, I think Fred has a lot of holiday spirit this episode. He has some really good bits.
Well, remember, he's Santa's helper. That's why.
Right.
No, but seriously, Fred Mertz has always been a favorite on this show, and he's fantastic. I mean, Fred's he's just the gruff guy. Like, oh, I don't know. Like, even in this episode, he does this kind of great thing of like, he kind of breaks that kind of Lou Grant mold of just being that. Well, I'm not actually like. Basically, he's like a more vocal.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a more vocal version of Lou Grant's soft side. You know what I mean? Just like saying, "Well, I care. I'm messing around." Again, that's Fred Mertz for you. Lou Grant is like, he'll keep it all bottled up inside. Right. Anyway, so let's see. So they bring the tree, and she's calling him Scrooge, and we're doing it. We're doing it for Santa. It makes you Santa's helper.
Oh yeah.
Okay, anyway, so then Lucy's saying, well, if we can only do something with this branch and all this, well, don't make Fred go down the basement and get the saw, and then we just see wonderfully, I love this, again, I love my gadgets and stuff, I just love the old design on this little portable saw he's got, there's like, and he just has it on hand. It's really hilarious, I love that.
I've been putting up with your tree stuff for 15 years, Lucy!
Okay, let's see. So then we have some more Christmas formula here. Tree trimming, big thing of the episode. It's kind of our big old framing device, decorations and such. So anyway, as he's like sawing away, and Lucy just kind of sits on a chair to the side with Ricky, and cleverly staged, so we don't see Fred for a while.
Oh, the skinny branch on top looks awful.
Yep. So again, these are minor things that she's pointing out. By the way, really, the tree's fine the way it was. Anyway, so let's see. So let's see what's going on here. So basically they reminisces on the changes in life. Remember, this is like season 6, so a lot of stuff's happened in the meantime. Again, they have a kid. He's fully grown now. I'm not sure if they. I believe she was pregnant in like season 2. I could be wrong, but I can't recall. So I don't know how long they show little Ricky growing up. And sometimes sitcoms. See, sometimes sitcoms will just like instantly age the kid, and like shows like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air will instantly address it, saying like, "Oh, look how big little Nicky's gotten." Yeah, he's 5 now. What gives? Because he's born like last season. Now he's 5.
Exactly. Yeah.
I
don't know. I'd have to look that up. That's a good trivia question.
Anyway, so point is, like you're saying, a lot of changes happened. We have little Ricky, things have changed for the better. We've grown. Basically setting up the clip show premise. Anyway, so again, just Lucy keeps barking out like, Fred, get that one. Get basically. I'm thinking to myself, poor Fred, he's got to trim this tree all. Anyway, so then basically they flash back to the setup is they're talking about like little Ricky. Remember the whole discovery that you were pregnant? Oh yeah, I remember that.
Sure. Yeah. And like I said, I think the dialogue is a little clunky in terms of like the exposition. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's with characters we love, and it's around the holidays.
And like I said, it's kind of just the trope of the 50s TV show, so you can't really blame it. It's just a product of its time.
At least they have really good framing devices around the clip show in this case. Okay, so we flash back to the really famous episode where Lucy, the whole episode, has been trying to tell Ricky that she's pregnant. By the way, it's a huge thing Ricky Ricardo has been eager and eager to be a father. It's kind of the American dream in the 50s, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, marry a good woman, have a child as soon as possible. You know, when are you going to give me a son, Lucy? And then, he's at the club, he's performing, and then she finds out the whole day he's been ready to perform at the club, so he's been a little distracted the whole day. He says, Ricky, I got something to tell you. Not now, Lucy, I got to go. Goes to the club, and then pretty much he says, well, okay, I'm going to meet him at the club. And she's there, and she cleverly, see, people at clubs and like comedy clubs also, they will sometimes like podcast. I'm thinking more Hollywood Babylon, but like clubs in the
right.
They will take requests or read shout outs, so to speak. Anyways, Ricky Ricardo, he's taking a song request like you would a radio station or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he gets this note on stage. I love his reaction. He's like, "Oh, that's so nice. Apparently, somebody's going to have a baby, everybody."
And she wants. He reads the letter. Says, "I don't know how to tell the father, so I was wondering if you could." If you could sing, basically, if you could sing sing this song so I can let him know. Oh, isn't that sweet? How isn't it? Let's get the couple up here to sing the song. And he starts singing the song, looking for the couple because no one's going up, obviously, because he is the other part of that. And he hasn't discovered Lucy in the club, so he starts singing "Breaking the Whole Baby News." He's going around there. He's singing a really nice little musical number there. And again, I love when they sing on the show too. It's always good.
He's just singing "Rockabye Baby."
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's a Desi Arnaz. He's got a good voice,
of course, God, yes.
Anyway, so he goes around, he's like periodically through the song, and really good staging in the sets for the show. It's so simplistic in the 50s, yet it works so well. Like, he's going around, the camera's panning to reveal more of the club. It's like saying, "Is it you?" And they're all nodding, no. He says he sees Lucy there sitting alone at the table by herself.
I love how he just walks by her so damn casually. He's just like, "Oh, hi, honey."
Yeah, "Oh, hi, honey." And then like a moment before he gets to the next table or something, he just takes a beat, and he's like, wait, it just dawns on him the reaction on Desi Arnaz. Oh, what Desi Arnaz? Just the reaction on his face is like, and basically the news hits him like a brick. And he realizes, honey, yes, you. And he says, I'm the father.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to meet my mother. I mean my wife.
And then he says, sing the song. And he sings like another baby. Like, we're having a baby or something like that. Yeah, really good song. Anyway, so I'm not doing it justice, but the point is he sings a baby, having a baby type song. Anyway, so then we cut back to what's been going on in the meantime, and they're all crying in chairs. It's such a beautiful story, and it was. And it is really sweet and romantic, by the way. Really nice.
Sure.
Anyway,
but then Fred, he's crying for a different reason.
Yeah, why is that, Tiki?
He's crying because he got so carried away with the story that he forgot what he was doing, and he trimmed down pretty much the whole tree.
It's the reveal of the deal-in tree. Oh my god, it's the idea. I can just picture Fred just looking to the side, like tears, like grabbing the tissue, like with one hand, with a hanky or something, like dabbing his eyes while his hand is cutting at the last branch of the tree or something.
Right.
Okay. Anyway, so then so they're all like, oh no, Fred, no. It basically got carried away. So then this Ethel says, well, you gotta buy another tree. He says, well, we gotta get another tree. And he says, well, who's gonna pay for it? Then Rick says, yeah, Ricky, a nice guy, says, I'll pay for it. And then just Ethel being the sweet soul that she is, says, no, Fred, you're gonna go to a tree lot around the corner and buy another tree right now.
One word out of you, and I'll tell Santa that you've been a bad little boy.
We can't do that. I'm his helper. So then we see the next stage here. Basically, Ricky's kind of untangling some lights while they kill some time while he gets a new tree, and they're going to get the orbits out and set up and stuff. And, they're singing Jingle Bells ceremony, like, Jingle bells, now you hear Lucy. Jingle bells, jingle bells. And they both just kind of stop there singing. They realize kind of the funny running gag of the show is like, yeah, Lucy Again, to my
Not
knowledge.
the most pleasant voice in the world.
And I'm not sure. I think that's just her playing it up for the show. I think actually.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure precisely. I'm going to assume she can actually sing. This is her playing it up really well.
Right.
Yeah, remember, she actually is a brilliant performer. That's why Lucy isn't just her. Some people have that misconception she's just Lucy in real life, but no, she was actually a brilliant.
Oh no, absolutely not. Freaking, oh my God, Lucille Ball is a fascinating person.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so as Lucy sings, they kind of reflect on like, yeah, you're not really a good singer. It's just my voice hasn't been up to snuff in this last month. Last month, you'll never have been able to sing, Lucy. Do I have a hearing problem? So then they kind of reflect on the barbershop quartet bit.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, there's an act in the club where they're performing barbershop quartet. And, Lucy's big running gag through the whole series is she wants to be in Ricky's shows, but again, not much talent or shows.
Of course, yeah.
Either she can't sing or she always screws things up in some way, and Ricky's smart enough to realize this, so he tries to keep her out of things. That's how she meets people the likes of like Orson Welles and Bing Crosby, She actually has met Orson Welles, and it's awesome. Anyway, so it's just basically doing the barbershop quartet, and the idea is like she snuck her way into the thing by being the guy under the towel, being basically it's kind of Muppet style. I remember like Jack Black was the member of the quartet.
When they did freaking Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Essentially that. So basically, she's the reveal character now. Basically, she has the towel over her head, and that's where the last member of the quartet would appear. Anyway,
Whenever I see that towel, I always think of Captain Hook from Peter Pan.
Oh, that's such a great
when Smee's shaving the ass of the bird.
That's some good. I think Frank Thomas did that scene. Oh man.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Oh, I love Frank Thomas, Captain Hook.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I love these ladies doing the patting the bird off and everything. Anyway, back to this. Yeah. So basically, doing the barbershop quartet, and they all have like the little foam cup, which I always love the foam cup whenever you see like an old movie or something. They do the haircut or the shave. Mm-hmm. That little foam cup with a little brush. It's important. So basically, they're singing in the reveal after they take the towel off, and it's like her part to sing. And they realize, oh no, she can't sing. They try stuffing the thing in her mouth. They keep stuffing.
I love how fast Ricky reacts to it. It's like it's just instant. It's like a reflex for him.
It is, and it's just he puts like the phone around. I love that they don't just glaze over the fact that folks, this isn't whipped cream, and probably it is actually whipped cream. But I mean,
I'm sure it is actually whipped cream. Yeah.
But the way she plays, it would be like actual foam. Like ugh.
Right.
It's like shaving cream. Yeah, he doesn't want it. And then basically periodically, as she tries to sing during her part of the song, each one of them gets a turn at it, and then they all are ready. It's just a great bit. It's a solo now after she's been through this 3 times. They're all like at the ready. It's kind of near her, and then she like lifts her arms up, and it all goes in their mouths.
It's a really perfectly timed comedic bit. It's kind of like an Abbott and Costello routine or something.
Yes. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Okay, let's see. So. Right. Okay. So after that, we have a brief timeout for Instant Sanka.
Instant Sanka. Yes.
And after that, we come back to now. Fred comes back, and he got an even better tree because it's kind of Christmas. It's Christmas Eve. Everyone's bought their trees, so they're trying to get rid of these trees, and he bought it for half a buck.
Mm-hmm.
Half a buck, which is a good deal from $5 for an even better tree. I mean, that's awesome. So, sorry, Tiki, you still there?
Yeah.
Making sure. Okay,
yeah.
So then, Lucy says, okay, but there's this one branch. Says, no, leave it alone. And also, we should mention Fred, in addition, he got a really good deal, this Fred. He got 3 for 50 cents, about.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
For 50 cents, and he even got free mistletoe.
I love how the audience just gasps when Lucy tries nitpicking the tree. It's a really good, genuine reaction from the audience. They're just like, "Oh no, we just went through that."
Yeah. Anyway, so Lucy, like any wife, and all wives do this. Don't let them tell you different. Not like any person, really, not just wives, but especially wives. They try to get hints for the gifts. They always want to know what the gift is, and they try to get hints for it. And Lucy is no different. So basically, it's just trying to ask, what's the gift? What'd you give me? What'd you give me? No, you're just like little Ricky. You're just like little Ricky. You have to wait till tomorrow to find out, Lucy. So Pretty much, then she tries to sweet talk with the mistletoe, even though she denies it. Like, it's a really sweet, but just putting the mistletoe over his head. Oh, and there's another Christmas, literally what our namesake is there, and putting
Yeah, there you go.
using some mistletoe there again. Some of the more Christmas tropes, and also just kind of the Christmas trope of trying to figure out what the gift is ahead of time. Bit of that in
Oh
there.
yeah, oh yeah.
I don't think we've had a lot of that actually in Christmas in July, so that might be, if not a first, and a rare
Yeah,
occurrence.
not really so far.
All right, so then, okay, so still no hint after the use of mistletoe. Ethel tries the similar thing, puts it over her own head, and then Fred's just saying, "Wait, what?" And then actually, this is probably the best Fred Mertz line in the series. Maybe it's a really good line. And she says, "Well, you see, go ahead." And he says, "Well, what do you see? What do you see over my head?" "Yeah, what do you see?" "Well, I see you're an incurable optimist."
Yeah, that's great.
I love just him calling her. It reads so well, just calling her an incurable optimist.
Now, do you know the history of Vivian Vance and the actor who played Fred?
Uh, refresh my memory. I saw like a biography movie. I'm not sure how.
Yeah, like apparently the guy was a real asshole to her.
Well, I mean, I know that the little cantankerous in the beginning, though. But the thing I've seen recently. There was a really great documentary that was on, like a biography, and then now it's no longer on YouTube, but they have the other one on there. It's a TV movie. And the TV movies, you got to filter out what might or may not be true sometimes.
Sure.
The point is, like, at the beginning there, it's like he is a little cantankerous to her and says, "You're old enough to be my father."
Well, right. Yeah, that's the whole thing. And so it's just kind of interesting how, because I remember I actually saw a documentary about Vivian Vance, and I remember there were people that were like close to her who were saying that she was actually like, she hated going to work because of him. So it's just kind of interesting, it's like I hate to kind of like, like reveal the reveal the look behind the sausage factory or whatever, but or whatever the hell that saying is.
Look behind the sausage factory.
What's the saying?
Look behind the curtain.
Yeah, but there's something about like, forget it. I'm digging myself a hole.
I think I know what you're getting at, but I can't quite recall. But still, I think Sausage Factory might be wrong or something.
I think so. Yeah.
Actually, I'm sorry, T. You might be right, but I still don't get the reference. Maybe.
Well, my point is, I hate to ruin the whole kind of illusion that these two are like a really good couple, but there was some real tension on set.
Right. Well, I can do you one better. Like towards the end, Ricky and Lucy, they really weren't getting along well. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, let's just say it got really bad to the point where what I've gotten again. I recently, just for this, I watched the Lucy TV movie, and I think they might dramatize it a bit because it gets really extreme in places. I don't like Desi Arnaz is like tearing apart his own house because it has a leak.
I remember that actually.
And I gotta tell you, it seems a little bit overacted for me. I don't know. I can't say.
It's kind of like the equivalent to Christoph Waltz in Big Eyes.
But in all seriousness, though, I think like the point where like they're yelling at each other, like having like gophers go in between, and tell them like, "Is he on set yet?" No, and just like tell the drunk to get on set. The point is, like, it really kind of turned sour. But again, they played it. It's kind of like Dexter style. They still played, brother and sister real well, even though they were married and divorced in real life.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah, and basically here, and the point is, like, they played it really well, and he didn't seem at all like that. Okay, anyway, sorry. So let's get back to it here. So, okay, so after the hint bit, after Fred, after the incurable optimist part, which is hilarious, they kiss and. Okay, so then they get the lights on. So the tree's up. They put hang the lights around, plug it in, and says, "Hey, for one, Ricky and Fred are shaking hands. For once in 15 years, the lights haven't flickered and gone on the fritz like they usually do." And then they go on the fritz like they usually do. Well, it's tradition.
I love this bit from Fred, though. I love how he's like, I'm glad this happened. It feels like Christmas.
Yep. Anyway, so then let's see.
He's kind of naturally just kind of a curmudgeon, but he's into it though. He's into it.
Okay, so while they're fixing the lights and while Lucy and Ethel are about to put the ornaments on the tree, I guess they're asking like, "Well, what'd you get little Ricky for Christmas?" "Well, I don't know what Santa got him, but we got him drums and a bike." So, yeah, we spoil them, but we love them.
Yeah.
It's nice. So then, I forget what the exact setup is, but like they're all talking about like when he was born, or like all the stuff around when he was born, and they forget. Oh yeah, Lucy. Basically, it's like they're kind of glancing at the fact that Lucy did all the work. It's like, well, all I had to do was push him out. So then they reflect on like how much of a kind of get another kind of not so much Christmas, but just kind of the classic stress around the birth of a child on air.
Oh yeah.
Not like the whole delivery, the stressful delivery trope in TV in general, but if you want to stretch it to Christmas, you could always say like the whole kind of Christmas birth like Alf had. Remember?
I'm sure there's been a great deal, many few on Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like also like the classic thing of a baby's born on Christmas must mean something. That sort of thing. It's like how TV, they always like sometimes they'll forcefully draw a parallel, sometimes they won't.
Ooh, he's the second coming of Jesus or whatever.
Is anyone else weirded out by this setting? It's like Ed and Eddie, the whole manger setup.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, anyway, so then we see so basically there's really hilarious bit like Lucy said, like, remember, you're all looking at me on the couch just waiting for me to explode. So essentially it's like the doctor said, like, I don't know if it's like you're late or you're premature or something, but pretty much like she's was on the couch. Basically, she's due at any minute, but like she'll be due within the week or the day or a few days or something. So basically, they're all just waiting and at the ready. They're formulating a plan and everything. So Lucy's just there. Basically, they're all just staring at her intensely, just waiting for her to explode, as she put it. Just waiting for her to get ready to go into delivery mode. They're all weirding her out, so she goes to lie down, get some rest anyway. So they're like, okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to rehearse for the delivery. They all go for like the who's doing what. So let's see. So it's like we hear basically everyone's role here is Ricky handles Lucy and gets her coat. Importantly, gets her coat. And,
yeah, that's going to be important.
We see Fred. Fred grabs a suitcase, and Ethel calls the doctor. 3 simple steps, and they all go downstairs
in the most calm way possible.
And they all calmly walk downstairs and grab a cab. That's how it goes.
Oh, it's so calm. It is so calm. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to go. Now, as you can imagine, probably not going to go so well. So they rehearse it a few times. So again, without Lucy, goes pretty well. As they walk there and do it calmly, do it again for safety's sake. Try again.
I love how Ricky, when Ricky's doing, when he's imitating Lucy, and he's like, now Lucy will say, the time has come.
The best line. I love that. That's the line that screws everything up. Thank you for bringing that up, Tiki. The time has come.
He's like, so stoic when he says it.
But before we go any further, because I'll forget about this if we don't, if we don't address it now, because they're going to be dressed differently in a minute. As with the fashion, I love that Ricky Ricardo is one of the guys who really pulled off the no tie look really well. Like earlier in the whole Christmas episode, he's not wearing a tie; he's just wearing a suit jacket. He really pulls that look off well. I don't know if he was the first guy to do that, but it looks good.
Oh yeah, sure.
I mean, he wears ties all the time, but when he doesn't wear the tie, it looks pretty good. Also, I love how Fred Mertz, in kind of classic 50s style, he tucks the tie into his pants. I think it's pretty funny. God. I'm sorry, moving. So again, the time has come. So that's
the time has come.
So again, Ricky, he grabs the coat, and it's like he's pretending to have a ghost costume or something, where he's just like leaving the coat out. It's really funny. Fred grabs a suitcase, Ethel gets on the phone, and they all pretend to walk downstairs. That's how it goes.
I love how calm Ethel is. She's just like, hello, doctor. We're bringing Mrs. Ricardo over now.
And as they all rehearse, they stress the point of like, we're all doing this calmly. It's all fine. We're all being calm. Then they all take a moment. They sit down on the couch because they're just like, okay, we got this. We know what to do. We're pros at this. And then Lucy comes out. And importantly, she does not say the time has come. She does not say that. She do you remember what she says exactly? Do you remember?
Ricky, this is it.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. They all freak out. They all say, "This is," and they're all cueing to the one phrase for all calm, cool, and collected.
Right.
First, like she's breaking. It's like this. She's breaking protocol. We're not trained for this. No, an alteration. No. They're all freaking out. They're all going. They're tripping all over each other. They all go for the same things at the same time. They all go for the call the doctor. She's called the doctor. Then he's like, they grab the phone at each other. Fred goes for the suit. Fred and Ricky battle over the suitcase. No, this one. You get the coat. And then the stuff flies out of the suitcase, and then it's not helped by Lucy saying, "We gotta go now." Then they're all freaking out.
And then to make matters worse, the line's busy over the phone. And then I love how Ricky just reacted, "The line's busy! The line's busy!"
The line's busy. They're all just.
And then all three of them run out to the cab, and they leave Lucy.
Yeah, they just leave her there. Wait for me.
Sick.
Really fun.
Oh,
really
great.
And then we cut to kind of our ending here. A really nice little ending here.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we see it's Christmas morn. Okay, so after all the shenanigans, all that storytelling, we're finally at Christmas morning. Little Ricky wakes up. He goes out there, and before so, we saw the gifts left by Santa Claus, but not just one Santa Claus. I mean, that's just weak sauce right there. There's one Santa Claus. We get 4 Santas. Importantly, we get 4 Santas. We got Lucy, we got Ricky, we got Ethel, and we have a man who looks like Fred. And anyway, so anyway, they leave the gifts, the bike and the drums and everything, and they head back into the kitchen as they hear like little Ricky get up, and he's getting in there. He's having a ball. He gets on the bike, ring ring, yeah. Go. There's a really sweet scene, little Ricky discover the gifts, and also, he's really good on the drums too. He's not Whiplash level quite yet, but he's pretty good on the drums.
Well, that's some high expectations.
Well, I mean, if you're the son of a club owner, I don't know.
Oh, God. Now I just want to see like a Ricky Ricardo and Little Ricky parody video of Whiplash.
Are you on my tempo? I'll tell you, it would be even funnier if it wasn't just drums. If it was bongo drums.
Oh my God! Yes.
Because Ricky's specialty is bongo drums.
Internet, make that, please.
Are you on my tempo?
Are you on my tempo? Are you on my fucking tempo?
Are you dragging or are you rushing?
Oh God. Okay.
Anyway, so then really sweet scene. So Ricky and like Lucy, and they're all kind of peering in from the kitchen, seeing him play with the drums. Oh, it's adorable, which it is. And then they think, okay, well, we did good. One of us should go out there and have him see Santa Claus, like a little glimpse of Santa. What do you think? He says, no, maybe. And then Fred enters in his Santa Claus costume, and let me repeat. So we have 4 Santas in the kitchen, then Fred enters, and there are 5 Santa Clauses. Now, Tiki, math is not my strong suit, but I think there's an extra variable in this Christmas time. Would you agree? So Christmas time, we got Santa Claus. It's a big fixture we definitely want in this. People and Santa Claus.
Oh, of course.
We got people in Santa costumes, which, again, Christmas hallmark there, people dressing up like Santa Claus. And then we have like kind of last element of this. Okay, so they all count, they all lift the beards down, say who's who. Ethel, Lucy, Ricky, Fred. Wait a minute. Both from both sides, they both grab the beards. Ouch.
Ouch.
And then he vanishes. And then just our 4 beloved characters here, they just turn to the camera and say, Merry Christmas.
And they're so bewildered by it.
It's like
it's not like a happy, holly jolly ending. It's more kind of like a Twilight Zone ending where it's just like Merry Christmas, everybody. Like they actually say it in kind of like a question.
Yeah, I gotta tell you though, I wonder how much of that was mandated though. I wonder if it was because a lot of kids tune in to I Love Lucy. I wonder if it was like they didn't want to squash the whole Dreams of Santas or anything.
That's a good question. I wouldn't be surprised, but I really do like that ending. I mean,
don't get me wrong. I think whenever you do that thing, you don't want to completely squash out ideas of Santa Claus. But sometimes you do. But it was always like kids making up. That's the creative thing of Santa Claus. Kids make up their own theories about the guy. So he's so good he's so good he's convinced the world he doesn't exist. That's how good he is.
Of course.
That's the greatest trick Santa Claus ever pulled on the world.
So is there any kind of notes on the formula you want to go over before we sign off?
Well, there's the ending. The ending's very important. So at the end, we see this episode has been presented for your viewing pleasure by Instant Sanka, the hearty coffee you can drink as strong as you like.
I'm sorry, you cut off there for a second.
What?
You cut off for a second.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Well, remember the ending, Tiki. The ending is very important. Remember, this episode has been presented for your viewing pleasure by Instant Sanka, the hearty coffee you can drink as strong as you like it.
Well, it's better than the Flintstone chilling out on Winston cigarettes.
And it still can upset your nerves.
Oh yeah.
That's Sanka coffee, folks. And yes, we are getting a paycheck for that. No, we're not. Sorry. But seriously, okay, so any last Christmas trips? Now, just like actually, an episode we're going to be discussing this season will have a similar ending to this episode.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, we're getting some nice kind of Santa real or not questions there.
Mm. All right. I think it's time to go into this, don't you?
Yes. So like any Christmas folks, we got Santa Claus. He makes a long, illustrious list of the.
We're making the list and we're checking it twice.
Yes. We figured season 2. We got up our game a little, like any sequel would try to. So we thought we list what we're doing. Want to save a memento, like just check off a list of what we're talking about. So as we go along, we just put down on a list. So at the end, we can just kind of go over how far we've come along this season on Christmas in July. So as you can tell, we've been adding for 2 episodes now. We've put that on the list. So we got Rugrats Let It Snow, and
Rugrats Let It Snow, and then Invasion of the Secret Santas from Batman Brave and the Bold. I have it abbreviated. It's
exactly. Exactly, and so Tiki now, if you do so kind, he's going to have I Love Lucy.
Okay. I Love Lucy Christmas Show.
Yep. And that list will come back towards the end.
Oh, yeah. All right, there you go. And speaking of other stuff we're going to do, tomorrow night I will be flying solo by myself, and I will be doing something that nobody else wants to do, and quite frankly, you people have mocked me for wanting to do it in the first place, but god damn it, I want to do it. I'm going to be taking a look at the Christmas episode of Yo Gabba Gabba entitled Christmas is Awesome! Screw you! What the hell?
I like the title.
Christmas is awesome.
That is a good title. Yes.
There's a season 1 episode that's just called Christmas, and then there's awesome. I was like, well, I have to go with the awesome episode. I mean, come on. But folks, just the reason why I'm doing Yo Gabba Gabba is just because I appreciate shows that cater towards that are really creative, that also cater towards children. I appreciate that kind of stuff. It's not like I sit and watch Yo Gabba Gabba on a daily basis or have seen all the episodes or anything like that. I've seen a handful of episodes, and I think it's a really fun show. I've seen like they have really good celebrity cameos. Elijah Wood was on there, I think, in the first episode.
What about Nick Nolte? Has he been on there?
It wouldn't surprise me if he was.
Nicolas Cage?
Oh God, I don't know. I don't think Nicolas Cage. But the reason why I'm a fan of the show, or I at least have a fondness for the show, I won't say I'm a fan, but I at least have a fondness for it, is because it is done by the same people who were in the band the Aquabats, which is an awesome superhero themed band, and I very much appreciate them. And I feel like a lot of the Aquabats kind of sensibilities and sense of humor and everything like that kind of carries over into Yo Gabba Gabba a little bit. So that's why I appreciate Yo Gabba Gabba. So that's what I will be looking at next time on Saturday night's edition of Christmas in July. And I will be, like every other episode of Christmas in July, I will be looking for that formula. I will be looking for that one piece of just Christmas goodness. Like how do we really put these Christmas specials into perspective, and what makes the best one? Well, that's what we're gonna answer. That's what we're gonna find out.
Yeah, and how do we go about that, T? Yeah, what's a name for this magical process?
We're gonna go about it by putting the mistletoe underneath the microscope. Next time on Christmas in July.
La 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 la.
The time has come.